In this video, we will first go over how to share and manage content with multiple locations. Then, we will cover how to manage profiles for people who work at multiple locations. If you have been using Jolt at only one location so far and are ready to take what you have done and apply it to other locations, then Jolt has made it very easy for you to share your content by promoting it from location mode to content group mode. That way you don't need to reinvent the wheel for additional locations. I will demonstrate using roles, but whether it's roles, lists, information, or date codes, you can promote it to the content group by switching to content group mode and then clicking on the locations tab. This will show you any roles that are being used in location mode for any locations in the group. You can see what location the role belongs to in parentheses on the right. So if I wanted to take this cashier role, which is currently only active at Josh's demo location, and share it with other locations in the group, then I could select it and then click the top right button that reads Move to Content Group. Note that you can promote content up to the content group, but once it is there, you cannot bring it back down. So make sure it is content that you want to share before promoting it. It works pretty much the same for lists and forms and date code labels. However, in the information library, look for a little green circle with a plus symbol that you can click on to move a file to the content group. Once moved to the content group, roles and date code labels will automatically be accessible by all locations in the group, and they can choose whether or not to use them. Lists, forms, and information, however, are more flexible, and you can choose which locations to share them with. For the information library in content group mode, select Edit File Permissions in a subcategory, and you can select which locations to share the information in that subcategory with. For lists and forms, simply open the list and navigate on the left down to the Location Activation section, where you can select which locations to share the list or form with. You can also set whether or not you want this list or form to be automatically shared or activated with any new locations that you add to the group. If you don't want it automatically shared, select Automatically Deactivate. With lists and forms, you can break things down even further. If we navigate back up to Advanced Sharing Settings, you can allow others to deactivate the list. The locations themselves can decide to not use this list if they want and deactivate just for their own location. Note that others here means location website admins, so nobody would be able to deactivate anything from the iPad. They would have to have admin access to the Jolt web portal given in order to make any changes, even just for their own location that they manage. You can also allow them to change repetition sets or change the timing on a list. For example, if I set this content group list to repeat at 6 a.m. and be due at 7 p.m., but then I select Allow Others to Change Repetition Sets, a location website admin could override that timing just for their own location so that it repeats on different days or at different times. Also, you can select individual items and allow those items to be deactivated by some locations. For example, maybe some of the locations in the group don't have a parking lot. Well, you can open up an item and then check the box titled Allow Others to Deactivate this item. Once you update and save that, then anyone who is in location mode can open up that list and see that there is now a blue X on the right of that list item, so you can deactivate it just for that specific location. Okay, so that is how you share and manage content with multiple locations, but what about people who work at multiple locations? Well, you will want to avoid creating duplicate profiles for people. Instead, you can open their profile and switch to content group mode if you aren't already there. Then underneath the roles section, you can assign them to any other locations in the group. If they have multiple roles, you can select the appropriate boxes to make sure that they have the right roles at the right locations. And that's how you share and manage content and people with multiple locations.